0.
We're live. Hey everybody, Greg Poole here at Bojunkie Media, bojunkie.com. We are at the 2020 NFA Indoor Nationals. This weekend's coverage, or this event's coverage, I should say, is brought to you by Bomar Archery. Here with esteemed colleague and friend Jesse Broadwater, who is not super stoked about being here commentating with me. He'd rather be out there shooting, but I appreciate you sticking around to hang out, Jesse.
Yes, sir. Should be fun here. Got a lot of good guys and gals here in this shoot-off. So,
well, it's been not without its drama this afternoon.
As usual.
Right. Well, and folks, just to explain, this is obviously Rona year, and so what happened was they were shooting a typical five spot with 60 X's, and then a Vegas round that not counting X's, and there's been some convoluted issues here. I would say the number one, the first casualty is Paige Pierce.
Sounds like it, yeah.
Because Paige shot a 60X and then shot a 299 Vegas, they have actually bumped her from the second place tie because those ladies shot a 300 with 59 X's and then 300 Vegas. So they didn't. There's been some confusion there. In the men's pro, of course, we have Richard Bowen, Henry Bass, Dane Johnson, Kyle Douglas, Dan Jazza, Steve Anderson, Donnie Thacker, Jeremiah McConnell, Tate Morgan, Robert Householder, Cole Frederick, young adult 900 in Vegas shooter, Jace Boyles, Stephen Hansen, Paul Tedford, and Chris Schaff.
Yeah.
Now that's for the win, of course. In the women's pro, we have Toya Ellison shooting off against Alexa Ruiz for second. Linda Ochoa Anderson won the women's pro outright, and Randy Morocco won the senior pro outright. So this is actually the first official scoring in. So these guys haven't been competing for quite some time, Jesse, but scores are not reflecting that.
No, I mean, they all shot awesome, and the guys that have been here all week have got, a good solid week's practice in, but they all just pretty much switched back to their skinny arrows after they just shot, their big arrows. So they had to reset real quick and get sighted back in. So
absolutely. And so for those of you wondering, yes, in the NFAA Indoor Nationals round, pros are able to switch to a smaller arrow for the shoot-off, which is obviously then inside out.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you shoot a couple ends of regular scoring where you still have to hit the X, but after that it goes inside out, so a lot better chances with the skinny arrow.
Absolutely. Now, this first end is regular scoring, correct?
Yes. Yep. Got Kyle Douglas up there. He's been on the tear.
Yes,
Just won the USA Archery final this morning. A perfect score.
Yeah, Kyle's
He's
been
pounding.
shooting. He's been shooting extremely well. Even at the OPA, you guys had a battle. He had to shoot off twice.
Yeah, he's
and he won a known pro, obviously Vegas champion. You were part of that.
he's having a good year.
Yes, he absolutely is, and he's a great kid.
Yep. Yeah, he sure
He's actually
is.
getting married this week.
Oh yeah, nice.
So that's going to be good. So when this round is over, Jesse and I will actually get up and walk down there and take a gander up close and give you as much insight as we can, and we're going to start getting up and heading that way. All right, Jesse, you've been in this position quite a bit. What's going through their minds knowing that this round is obviously regular scoring, but how does the vibe change going from regular scoring to the inside out?
It changes quite a bit. I mean, the pucker factor comes into effect at that time. So, yeah, I mean, you got to make a really good shot to hit an inside-out X.
Right. So do you think that where you impact for the regular scoring has any effect on your mentality when it comes to the inside out?
Yeah, I mean, Obviously, they're just using these arrows right now to get really honed in and sighted in to where they're exactly dead nuts in the middle, and looks like most of them are. So
Yeah, that's I don't see anybody out.
no, it
Yep.
looks like they're all pretty good.
Yep. So looks like on the end of regular regular scoring, it doesn't
Thacker's
look.
got one close there, but
Yep. So it looks like everybody's going to move on for the end of regular scoring, but so when you're shooting the regular round of indoors of regular scoring, shooting them all basically on the scribe or on the X is going to be a little confidence builder when it comes to knowing you have to go to the next arrow.
Exactly. I mean, like I say, you want
Next round, I should say.
Yeah. You want to be sighted in dead nuts for the inside-out stuff, because who knows what your heart rate's going to do and all that. So,
Right.
but I mean, I don't know. These guys anymore, it's like the nerves just don't get to them that much. I mean, you look at the shoot-offs these days, and they just seem like they shoot the same in the shoot-off as they do in the qualification round, and it's just a lot of, a lot of talent and control there to keep your nerves on, in check and under control.
No doubt. Now, I am observing that we do have several guys here who've not been here all week.
Yeah.
Obviously Donnie Thacker came in for the Dakota Classic, as did Richard Bowen, but we see Dane Johnson, we see Henry Bass. There's several guys out, Jace Boyles. There's several guys out there that literally just came for this event. So
yeah, Robert Householder.
Oh yeah, Householder.
Yeah.
Do you think, having done this as much as you have, do you think that there's any built-in advantage or disadvantage to having been here all week? Because these guys are going on 600 arrows for score this week.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, you could have some guys that are just wore out and a little bit tired, or they could be practiced up and ready to go. I mean, myself, I felt like I started to shoot better as the week went on. Just kind of getting honed in and getting all this tournament practice. So I don't know. And these guys are coming in fresh, jumping right in.
Right.
So.
Well, so since you brought it up, on your round today, you pretty much shot darn near 59 inside out X's on the 5 spot.
Yeah.
What happened on that one?
Man, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those shots that I haven't had, I don't know, ever. Like, it just, don't even know what happened. But then the rest of them was just so easy and right in the middle, and same on the 3 spot. I shot 29 there. And
right.
I don't know.
It only takes one, though, doesn't it?
Lost concentration for a split second or something, and then that was enough to be like, hey, dummy, don't do that again.
Right. But unfortunately, in this indoor game,
that's the thing.
That's all it takes anymore.
Nope, you can't make it back up.
All right, here we go. So this is the first round of inside-out scoring, Jesse. What do you think is going to happen here?
Man. Well, you're going to have some people go out, unfortunately, but...
Well, and Steve Anderson was one of those guys who, starting off the week, he was extremely lighthearted, not taking it super serious, talking about how he's not been shooting enough arrows.
Yeah.
Coming into the Indoor Nationals round today, he's like, I'm ready, boys.
Yeah, it seemed like he kind of made a turn there and started focusing a little bit more. He's shaking his head right now up there, though. Got Henry Bass here. Haven't seen him for a while. He's stuck with his big arrows.
Right.
Kyle Douglas. Looks like he's calm and under control.
It looks like Steve Anderson's arrow is going to be, it's a little tall, but it looks like he did catch an inside out.
Yeah.
Not by a lot. Now, you have shot this entire Indoor Nationals, the real one, of course, with 2 5-spot rounds, but you've shot 120 X's with X10s before.
Yeah.
And then rolled into the shoot-off with X10s now. Do you think that there is any inherent advantage? Because you were doing it back before the advent of your namesake rest, the Freak Show QD.
Yeah.
You were doing it back when you would just kind of get a different mark on your sight tape. So do you think that the changing of arrows really has any effect these days?
That's what I was going to say. I don't think it does. It's so easy to swap the rest now and have it perfectly tuned that you don't have to worry about that. And that's what I was worried about back in the day. I'm like, I don't want to be scrambling last minute and trying to set up little areas and retune them before a major shoot-off. So Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal these days to swap a rest and move sight a little bit and get honed back in.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean that's just basically what has to happen these days to be competitive now. There is the mentality of ride what you brought, but
Yeah.
like Henry did.
Yeah.
But is there any shaking of the confidence when you shoot a big score with the bigger arrows and then go to the smaller ones?
Right. Well, and that's another thing. The guys that have been here all week have shot their little arrows all week and, know how they're shooting. So I don't think it'll affect them very much.
Right.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, when we go to the inside out, usually that results in about a cut of a half.
Yeah.
Half the class, but I definitely see Paul taking his time down there. So we will scoot down there and see what.
Once again, shooters, be sure not to touch your arrows, your target or target.
Well, Jesse, looks like Richard Bowen's going to be good. Henry Bass is going to be good.
Henry Bass with his fat shafts in.
Henry.
Kyle's still
Kyle.
good.
Looks like Dan. That's going to be it for Dan Jazza.
Did Dane get him?
Looks like Dane got
Dane's
him.
good.
Looks like Steve's down here getting a good look-see.
Thacker's
Donnie
good.
Thacker got him. Looks like that'll be it for Jeremiah. Great run for him today.
Yep. Tate.
Chris Schaff's out. Yeah,
Tate's got one on the line. It looks like really close.
All right, here we go. Chris Schaff's not going to be happy.
25.
Paul
There you
gets
go,
him.
Paul.
Chris Schaff is not happy down there, Jesse.
No.
He's going to take another look at that.
Stefan Hansen, 25.
Stefan Hansen, 25. Chris Schaff. Jace Boyles with a 25. Chris Schaff went and looked at that arrow and doesn't seem to be protesting much.
No.
Cole Frederick, 25.
Cole
Gosh,
Frederick.
he's barely touching.
Cole
It's close.
Frederick with a 25.
Nice.
The young adult 900.
Yeah, I shot with him. When did I?
Robert Householder, 23.
23 for the known pro Robert Householder.
Yeah, I shot with Cole earlier this week. He's a great kid.
Tate Morgan, 24.
24 for Tate.
Jeremiah McConnell, 24.
24 for Jeremiah McConnell.
Donnie Thacker, 25.
Donnie Thacker for 25 for Donnie Thacker. So we're definitely not seeing half the class go here, Jesse.
No, just a few of them.
There's a lot more larger arrows still in play than I was expecting.
Yeah. It looks like Dane, he's pretty much probably shooting his 3D setup.
Right. Right.
Robert's shooting, looks like 23s maybe?
Yep.
Oh,
25
Steve got
for-
it.
So Steve got that top left arrow was pretty close. but-
Yeah.
Excuse me, bottom left. 25 for Dane. Dan Jazza is out. I don't know, after the run that Kyle Douglas has been having this week and winning last night, shooting the 150,
He's a hard man to bet against.
Yes,
I'll tell you
absolutely.
that, especially right now.
well, and he's a command shooter, so.
Yeah. Henry, 25. Yep.
All right. And Richard Bowen's going to be a 25. So we'll head back here and
Sweet.
get reset up. So this is so what do you think now, Jesse? You've been in these positions. That's a lot of guys survive the inside out.
Yeah, it was. I was surprised there, but it just, the tension just keeps ratcheting down.
Tim Gillingham says
Tim.
them Easton guys are dropping like flies. So I'm pretty sure at this point in the gold tip contractual obligations, you are required to be a command shooter per Tim Gillingham. But I'm joking, people. I'm kidding, of course. But no, I'm a little bit surprised. That was a
Yeah.
lot of people survived the inside out.
Yeah, it's how it is these days. I mean, these guys are shooting good, just better and better all the time.
Well, at some point though, the bill's going to come.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Toya and Alexis tied as well, so they
Yep.
continue to be in it. For those of you watching this live feed, be sure to like and share so your friends can tune in. The Freak Show and myself here spreading hate and discontent. But this is the 2020 NFA Indoor Nationals. This event's coverage is brought to you by Bomar Archery, and this is pretty exciting. This is kind of what we've been waiting for all week, Jesse.
Yeah. This is the big show to end this whole archery event off here, and it's pretty exciting. Kyle just stuffed that one.
Shocker.
So did Henry.
Henry Bass just hit the line, so that's going to be a wrap for Henry.
Henry. Such good lighting in here too. This facility's awesome to shoot in.
Looks like Donnie Thacker just hit a line on his middle arrow.
Oh, Thacker.
Indeed. Like I said, the more. So let me ask you this, Jesse. You've had legendary inside-out battles before at Indoor Nationals, where you guys, I believe it was you and Braden went for like an hour. And so, how much does the pressure continue to mount from one end of inside-out scoring to the next, because it's not equal?
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, and back then that was one arrow at a time. That's how we used to do it back then. So like me and Braden walked back, shot one arrow, then went down, scored it. We done that like 25 or 6 times or something. It was ridiculous. But
Right.
It ratchets down like tenfold every end, it seems like. You know what I mean? Because all you're thinking is, okay, if I can just make it through this next end, you know, there's going to be people drop out. So your chances get better and better. And so that's all you're thinking about, just make it
Right.
through this end.
Absolutely. And then one end becomes two ends, and
Yeah.
then as it compounds on you, you understand.
Yeah.
Just understanding that the longer it goes, the harder it's going to get.
Yeah. But then there's a certain point in there to where if you're in it long enough, it starts to become more comfortable again, and then it can go on for a while. So
Right.
just depends.
Yeah. At some point, you're like, well, this is just what it is. We're just
Yeah.
going to do it.
Steve's let down on one there.
Sorry. All right, here we go. Gonna get down there and see what we got down here. 2, 4, 6, 8. All right, Jesse, we're down to 10 guys. So
Good, Richard.
it
Richard's
looks like
good.
Richard Bowen's still going to be in it.
Good shooting, Henry.
Henry will be out. Kyle Douglas will be in it.
Kyle's good, yeah.
Like that'll be it for Dane.
Donnie's giving him a good hard look here. Get it, Donnie?
Looks like
Close.
Steve Anderson's going to be out. 23 for Toya Ellison. So I think
Alexis in second place, 24.
Alexa Ruiz is going to take second, and
Yeah.
Toya Ellison will be third.
Good shooting,
I
ladies.
think both Steve and Donnie are going to be out, Jesse.
All right. So that's
And Cole Frederick's going to be out.
good shooting, Cole.
Jace Boyles is going to be out.
Good shooting.
Stefan Hansen's going to be out.
Good Lord, some heavy hitters going out here.
They're looking close at Paul Tedford's right now, but that purge we were discussing earlier is upon us.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's not like these guys are missing huge X's
No.
either. They're just all
That's the
barely
thing.
catching lines.
Yeah, doesn't take much.
All right, so Paul Tedford's asked for a second opinion
Yeah.
from the judge, which is well within the rights. That's how it works. That's why there's more than one judge.
Sure. It is really close, too.
Well, and anybody who is out here doing this, if they think that it's worth fighting for, they should.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You get as many sets of eyes on it as you can.
Absolutely.
Paul Tedford, 24.
Yeah.
So Paul Tedford's going to be eliminated.
Good shooting, Paul.
Good shooting, Paul. So here we go.
Hansen, 24.
All right, we're going to be down to just a few here, Jesse.
Yeah.
All right, of course. Bruce and Steph and Joe joking about travel restrictions.
Yeah.
Jace Boyles is out. Good run by him.
Good shooting.
Got some good young talent in here. Cole Frederick, 24. This one of Donnie's is pretty close, but I just didn't see much in there, Jesse. But I'm no judge. All right.
Yeah, he called a second opinion
Donnie
on this
Thacker
one too.
calls for another set of eyeballs on it. How many thousands arrows do you think these guys have called over the last millennia?
Yeah, quite a few. Quite a few.
What's up, Steve?
I'm not going to say.
All right. So apparently Erica Jones is the third back in 23. Erica
23
back in the game.
For Thacker.
Back in the game. All right, here we go. So Donnie's out. Now we're on to Steve Anderson.
Look at Kyle over here, all calm, cool, and collective.
Steve Anderson's out. He's not arguing that much.
No.
It was pretty much out. And by out, we're not talking about out of the X. 24 for Dane. We're not talking about out of the X. We're literally scoring inside out. So that arrow can be 99% inside.
Yeah.
25 for Kyle
There you go,
Douglas.
Kyle.
So look who we're ending up here. Two of the absolute blue collar working guys of the sport. Richard Bowen, who obviously is a crowd favorite. Everybody might not know who he is, but
Yeah.
one of the nicest guys in the sport.
They should know him. He's been in the Vegas shoot-off quite a few times. And they shoot off quite
yes,
a few
he
times.
has.
Yeah.
And he's just a great guy. Obviously,
Yeah.
he doesn't shoot all the tours and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
25. So here
There
we
you have
go.
it.
We're going to go back here and reset. But, Kyle Douglas obviously owns an archery shop out there in Utah. Just a hard-working guy, great kid. Richard Bowen. So, really what we're seeing here is guys that are excelling in this particular part of the sport who are,
They're just involved in it,
Yep.
Good, work ethic involved in it.
Absolutely. Well, and it just goes to show for the guys and gals at home that, yes, of course, let's be honest, there are superstars out here, yourself, Levi Morgan. There's guys out here, that do this for a living and do well across all platforms. But guys like Kyle and guys like Richard Bowen show the regular working guy, if you put in the time and you're dedicated to it, you can come and compete at these select events.
Right.
You really can.
He's 23 years old too, so I mean,
Right.
he's just a young buck, so he's got a long career ahead of him.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get down to it. So
They're moving. They're putting a new target up, and then they're probably gonna regroup and move together.
Absolutely.
And now it's gonna get really down to the nitty gritty here.
Oh yes, it is. Absolutely.
Oh, it looks like they're.
We're also going to be shooting off for what would be third and fourth, or fourth and fifth. Richard. Tim, are the rest of these guys shooting off for third or fourth? Third. All right. So basically, Kyle Douglas and Richard Bowen are shooting off for the win, and then the other guys are going to be shooting off for third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Tim Gillingham's in rare form today, folks. So, all right, here we go. Richard Bowen's been in this position lots of times. He's not really capitalized on the biggest stages. Now, I say that, folks, don't send me any hate mail. I love Richard Bowen, and he has absolutely put himself in great positions. Up to this point, he's been in all these shoot-offs.
Right.
He's just not brought home one of the top prizes yet.
Right, and I was shooting with him today there, the second half of this round, the Vegas round. Me and Louis Holmes was cutting up pretty good, and I didn't even realize he was still clean. So
they're going to have the third and fourth guys shoot off before the winners do, which is a lesson learned from Vegas this year.
Exactly. That's the way to do it.
Absolutely is. Now, with that being said, I don't think it would matter, but having to sit out an end or two as the first place guys, you think that's going to stall them out at all, or?
I mean, I don't think so unless it goes on for a while, but it should be over pretty quick.
Looks like Henry Bass is draining them. So now, let me ask you this: now that
Someone just... Oh, he just dropped an arrow. Okay.
so now that this has taken place, how much of the tension is relieved for the guys shooting for third, fourth, and fifth? Because now they're really just shooting for the third podium spot. It's not the win. Does that change the dynamic at all?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it was like me and Chris this year in the Vegas shoot-off, after Kyle won, and, me and Chris was out there just shooting for, second and third or whatever, and it's just not the same.
Right.
A lot of the pressure is off your shoulders at that point.
Still just as quiet in here, though.
Yeah.
Henry Bass with a little gitchy goo there. Looks like that bottom arrow of his is going to hit the line.
Stephen is down there shaking his head, talking to himself.
Yep.
Stephen. That's how you're supposed to say his name. I asked him this weekend.
It looks like Stephen has one on the line on his bottom left target. So. He's got a little bit of room down there, but it ain't enough to be comfortable with.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everybody, Greg Poole here with Bow Junkie Media, joined by good buddy Jesse Broadwater. This event's coverage is brought to you by Bomar Archery. Be sure to like and share this live feed so all your friends can tune in. All right, let's go check it out, Jess. All right. So, obviously, there was some lesson learned from Vegas this year, where the first place battle is going to get the shine at the end of the event.
Right.
So it looks like Henry has one on the line. So Stefan did not catch that low left one, Jesse. Well,
Douchers.
so let me interpret and repeat what Steve Anderson said there. He said, unfortunately, myself and my fine competitors were unable to score the maximum of 25
I think
points.
they all shot 24.
And so we all scored 24 and will of course have to reshoot this end. That's my interpretation of what Steve said.
Yeah.
It's not a literal interpretation, however. His was more colorful.
Yeah, a little bit. He's a colorful kind of guy.
So 24. So let me ask you this, Jess. At this particular stage, I mean, of course, all these guys want to win third.
Yeah.
But what sort of an emotional letdown is there competitively, knowing you're not shooting for the win anymore?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't come here to finish second or third, you know what I mean? And once you made it that far, you made it to the shoot-off, you want to win. And, after you find out that you're not going to win, then it's just like, yeah, you still want to do the best you can do, but it just changes your whole mental, it changes your nerves, the way you feel and everything. So.
Right. Now, I will tell you, and you will know way better than me, of course, the check for third is way bigger than the check for fourth.
Yeah.
Because
that's true too, yeah.
the
Right.
check for third is, the check for fourth, as far as the companies go, don't even exist.
Right. Yeah, so that's the thing. Once you figure out you're not going to win it, obviously you want to do the best you can do and hope to get a podium. So, ooh, Henry Bass with the onion. Put the onion on that one.
Did he? I got Tim Gillingham's backside staring at me, so.
It's a wonder he didn't throw his shoulder out of socket.
Steve didn't like that shot. He let out a ooh when he did that. So, I mean, when these guys are down there, and you've been in this position on all fronts, but how do you, when you're shooting off, and look, for second and third in Vegas is a little more intense, but when you're in this position and you're shooting for either a contingency check for third or not, and some of the folks are not maintaining the seriousness of that had been, how do you make sure you don't get distracted by, that lack of, or that drop off of intensity?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You just got to do your own thing and not fall into what other people are doing. And, just it all comes down to shooting a good shot, no matter what you're shooting, where you're shooting. If you just shoot a good shot, every shot, that's all you can do. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. So you do that, the end result's going to be there. But you will have people that you just got to block that stuff out,
Right. I suppose it's no different than showing up in Vegas or here and on the first end, someone not being as serious as possible.
Yeah. Well, my dad always used to say, like, you can cut up and joke and do whatever, but as soon as the nose touches your string, like, it's all business, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Everything's the same every time your string touches your nose, so.
You wait that long to get serious, Jesse?
Sometimes, yeah.
Liar. You get serious way before that.
It's like, me and Lewis Holmes, we had a good time today shooting. After we both missed one, we figured we was probably out of it.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good time shooting a Vegas round. So we was cutting up and stuff, but we still shot good.
Right. All right, here we go. So now, Jesse, we're getting into the aspect of how long are Kyle and Richard Bowen going to be sitting?
Right. Good old Henry pounding.
24 for Stefan. So apparently everybody shot a 24 again. So now,
Again?
Jesse, we are really getting into the point. So, obviously this is for you, but how many minutes do you think? I'm certainly not going to go ask Richard or
Right.
Kyle,
Yeah.
but we're right over here. How many minutes for you would you be able to be sitting waiting to shoot
Yeah.
for the win?
I mean, if it gets to be like 15 or 20 minutes, with no practice in, jumping right back up there, it might make a difference with some people. So that's the thing. You get a groove, you get going, get in a groove, and then you got to wait for 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
I don't know. It could affect them.
Absolutely. And so, obviously, most of us can remember when Jesse Broadwater would show up and 7 minutes before we started shooting, draw his bow twice, and then shoot 60 inside-out X's. But at what point does age matter? Because Richard Bowen's not 23.
Yeah.
Kyle Douglas
that's
is.
one thing I've noticed the older I get is I do need some more warm-up before I, start stroking. So
Do you... And I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not trying to suggest anything. But if you were Richard or Kyle, would you be like, hey, I want to shoot on one of these bales to stay
Right.
warm?
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's different. Maybe they want to. Maybe they want to conserve their energy. Like I say, everyone's different.
Absolutely.
Me personally, I'd be okay with it. I just want to kind of sit there and just keep my mind in the right spot, because that's the biggest thing.
Well, and that's kind of where all this is leading is if you're sitting there and you're a rhythm shooter, all of a sudden it gets into your head, well, damn, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Now you start questioning your own flow.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. You can't think like that. You can't think, oh, man, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes. Like, you just got to...
Well, that's why you've won everything and I've won nothing. Well, I'm sure there's other reasons, but that's a big one.
You just got to pretend like it was 2 minutes.
Right.
Go up there and just keep stroking. I mean...
Right. No, but I mean, that is...
But you can tell, like you look at Richard right now, and he's just, I'm sure he's trying to get his mind in the right spot and keep it there and everything. He's focused and...
I'd be over there going, hurry the F up, people.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, that's probably what he's thinking.
conversely, Kyle's over here talking with guys, and,
Yeah.
doing the whole thing. Now, I'm wondering, I've not paid attention to Richard Bowen up until this point. I don't think so, but Kyle is most definitely 100% certified, verified command shooter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think Richard Bowen is.
I don't think so. No.
So do you think that plays any factor? Style of shot?
Man, I don't know.
It could. Certainly could.
It may. I mean, the thing about in here is, like, you don't have any conditions to deal with, so outside if it's windy for sure, I think you may have an advantage there, being a command shooter at times. But
Absolutely. Well, and if you're cold, I would think it could be in a command shooter is going to be a little bit of an advantage because you don't got to wait.
it's funny. I mean, I talked to Kyle last time we shot together. I mean, he openly admits he's like I'm a command shooter, and he's like, pretty much I switched to shooting that style. Like I chose to shoot that way, which was kind of interesting to hear.
Right. Well, it's working out.
Yeah, apparently.
You going to give that a try?
I doubt it.
I've seen you do that once in my life at the Arizona Cup.
Yeah, I'm
not sure if it was in a medal match or whatever, but we was all there and it was windy and
yeah, it's hard for me to do.
You were up there and we was all yelling 4,
Yeah.
3. You look like you had a convulsion.
Yeah, it's hard for me to do to shoot that way.
Needless to say, it didn't work out for you. I think you shot an 8, but you came back over and you're like, I feel so dirty.
Yeah, right. Looks like we probably have this decided.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be a 20. Yep, 25 for Stefan. 23 for Henry. 24 for Frederick. Yeah, so definitely looks like it's going to be close. Steve has a close one, so.
Yeah.
And in a year like this, getting on the podium means a lot more than normal.
Yeah, for sure.
So Steve calls in a second judge. Erica Jones is just back here hoping it doesn't get to her. She doesn't care. She's
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see her here.
Yeah,
Haven't
it
seen
is.
her for a while.
Yep, she's actually working with the NFAA now.
Yep.
So this arrow is going to be pretty critical. Stefan has a 25. We know that Cole and Henry are out, so. I think out there on the end, I believe Paul was out too, so.
Yeah, I think so. I think he had a 24. Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go.
Erica's coming in now.
Erica got the call. She says, yeah. So for those of you wondering, Erica Jones, of course, has been to the top of our sport. She's been gone for 3 years, of course, adulting, raising a family, but Erica has been the champion of pretty much everything.
Yeah, and watching her shoot this weekend, it's pretty cool to see her style or anything. Looks like she never skipped a beat,
Yeah, she hasn't. That's the same bow she had set up, put into the closet from back then. She didn't change nothing except for took like 2 or 3 turns off the limbs. So Erica, of all people, understands how serious this call is.
Right.
So here we go.
Steve Anderson, 25.
All right. So Steve gets the call on a 2-to-1 split.
Yeah, how about that?
And for those wondering, that's why there's 3 judges. That's the very reason. Now, we don't see that very often.
No.
But it does happen.
24 for Cole Frederick. Good shooting, buddy.
You're right, absolutely. Cole shot good. 23. So now we have buddy to buddy Stefan Hansen versus Steve Anderson. So
yeah,
we'll stay out on the line for this one. So if I recall, it was Indoor Nationals when Stefan won it that he was up there all by himself and actually put his bow down, took a breath, looked around, and kind of composed himself.
He was in his own little world.
He was.
I remember seeing that. I was like, yep, that's how you got to be. I mean, you just do your own thing, don't care who's around. And
now I see he's still shooting them, but he showed up here at this week-long event shooting X10s that were 380 spine, very, very short, and was not happy how he shot all week.
Yeah.
Borrowed a set of Rio Wilds.
I saw that.
2.5 inch longer 420s.
Yeah.
And shot a 600.
Yeah.
So he.
All right, here we go. The 2 heavy hitters.
Yes. Let me get out of the way here. So here we go. We got.
Ooh, Stefan just passed through on that one.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Blew right through the bail. And Steve's,
I'm not sure if you can see the knock on that.
he drilled that one. Steve's got one inside out. 2 inside out for Steve.
So Steve has won indoor nationals.
Yeah.
So he's been in this position before.
Yep.
Right on the scribe.
3 inside out for
So now it's going to
Statham.
be interesting to see what happens, because if they can't see the knock of that arrow, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Got it. A little low there for Steve, but he got it.
Yep. It's so quiet in here right now.
It is super quiet.
4 for Statham.
Yep. You can't even hear the air conditioning running.
I know. Need some music or something.
Start singing. All right, here we go. Steve Anderson.
He let down on that one.
Yep, he did.
Good call, Steve. Discipline. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Now Steve Anderson is in the very position that we discussed with Stefan Hansen. He's up there by himself, 2
Yeah.
arrows to go,
Yep.
and he knows what he needs to do.
But I don't know what they're going to do with Statham's arrow. I mean,
Yep. That will be interesting, because as we've all seen, and as you have seen, there is witness pass-throughs as a relative term. So if it's completely through the other side, they'll make him reshoot it.
possibly.
Which you've had to do at the Dakota Classic.
I mean, possibly.
This is a critical arrow right here. Hit the line tall, and Steve will let it be known how he feels.
He said when I break in the middle, it goes high. He's tired.
Considering where the rest of his shots are, I'm not
Look.
sure.
Oh, they're giving a hug.
Stefan Hansen, 25.
Yes, the knock. You can see the knock right there.
There you go. Good shooting, brother. Good shooting, man.
And Steve Anderson, 24.
Okay, so you can
There you have it.
clearly see the knock. The knock is actually sticking out about that far,
Yeah.
so it was, and yes, it was dead in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, first and second place.
All right, here we go. So here we go, Jesse. Now
good.
it's time to. Now here comes the rest of the show. Now
Yep.
I don't know. I'm very, very curious.
You know, they could, and they're moving positions too from where they was, because Richard was clear down here on the end, which you don't have to worry about too much in here because the lighting's like really even, but they're moving them now from where Richard was about 10 target butts down, so.
Yeah, and there ain't no practice ends.
No.
They're straight back to inside outs.
Correct. So it will be interesting to see because they did sit there for a little bit.
So what do you think?
Here's my prediction. They're both going to have 4 on the first one.
Okay.
And then they're going to have 5 on the next one.
All right.
And then it'll be decided on the third end. And I'm not going to say who's going to win.
All right. So
I say it goes 3 ends.
okay. So I'm thinking it ends on the first end.
First end.
Yeah, I'm thinking it ends on the first end. I just watched Richard bringing his arms, trying to stretch.
So you think that's going to play a role?
I do. I think it. I think that. I mean, how long were they down there? 25 minutes.
You know, I think it's more the mental thing. I think it's more mental than physical.
I thought so too until I saw Richard doing this.
Because, yeah.
I could be wrong.
But I think the
but
longer you sit there sometimes too, if you're not in the right mental state, it can be worse because you get your mind in the. You're sitting there all that time thinking the wrong things sometimes. So
that's probably super accurate. But
Let's
here we
find
go.
out, and then we'll ask them.
Absolutely, we will. Both of them are inside out. Richard's a little bit lower.
We need some cheering and clapping
We do.
and stuff. This is too quiet. That looks good with the naked eye. That looks good.
Richard is definitely not a command shooter.
No.
I was watching his release on that one. All right, here we go. Third arrow. Got it. Got it.
Yep, 3
It's
for
looking
3.
It's looking more like your prediction might hold.
Wow.
I had
That can all change.
I had to say something,
Yeah, right.
and I wasn't just going to agree with you.
Yeah, it's been so long since Vegas,
Right.
but I remember Richard in the Vegas shoot-off. He looked extremely good shooting there. Just shot solid all weekend.
Got it. Richard's hanging on the low side. That one's damn close.
Yeah, he is a tad low on all of them, it looks like.
That one of Kyle's might have hit the line at 3 o'clock.
Is
That
that
bottom
right?
left one. It's that close.
So this could be it here. Oh, Richard's is low. So Richard has one out.
Definitely has one out. All right, let's go look. Let's go look.
Could be Kyle again, the man.
He was hanging a little low, Jess.
Yeah, he didn't like that last shot.
No, not at all. I think that's going to be a wrap.
25
Kyle
for
Douglas
Kyle.
is going to be your 2020 Indoor Nationals champion.
Huh, he was right.
That was. I will be asking him here in a minute. Let's. Where's Hayden at?
Shooting again, brother. Good job.
All right, hang out, Jess. All right, everybody. I'm here with your 2020 NFA Indoor Nationals champion, Kyle Douglas. That's Vegas, and that is Indoor Nationals in the same year. That doesn't happen very much.
No, I just got a little bit lucky, I guess. I don't know. Had a good year, so.
All right. Well, I don't think luck had much to do with it, but let me ask you this: that break you had to sit down there, did that stiffen you up at all? Did that have anything? Did that affect you at all?
No, not really. I mean, it calmed me down a little bit. I had a chance to kind of process my nerves and let them get going. They come right back as soon as you start shooting again, but had a little bit of a time to relax.
There you go. All right, buddy. Congratulations, and enjoy that wedding this week.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, buddy. All right. Let me get a word here.
I just
with,
have one question. Where are we eating tonight?
Wherever you want.
Winner buys. That's a roll.
All right. We're going to let's get some picks. Oh, Kyle, Hayden Gordon, get over here. All right, buddy. All right, Richard, Jesse, come on over here on the
Yeah, I wanna hear what he
other
has to
side.
say
So,
here.
all right, we're with your runner-up, Richard Bowen. You, Jesse and I were over there talking. You have put yourself in this position a lot. You are what I call the blue-collar favorite. You're not out there on tour shooting 20 events a year. You are just a regular guy, and you come to these events. You make the Vegas shoot-off. You make this shoot-off. And to date, you haven't quite got that last little tiny step. So first and foremost, congratulations on second place at the NFA Indoor Nationals. But I think the question that Jesse and I were discussing and the question that everybody wants to know is, did the prolonged break while they shot off the other places affect you at all?
No, I don't think so. I was actually ready for a break. I'm tired, so I'm not really in shooting shape. I've not been practicing with this type of stuff at home. I've been shooting my hunting bow. So the mass weight was the biggest thing I had to get used to. I dropped about 4 ounces off my bow when I got here, just to be able to hold it up and be as steady as I wanted to. So I was ready for a break. I felt fine. I bobbled on that very last shot, and that's when it went off, is when it was dipped low, and that's how it goes. And you can't do that against guys like Kyle. So I don't know, just all I can do is try to be there, and one of these days it'll fall in my favor. But, it's just tough to beat these guys, man. They're solid, and they're solid for a while.
Absolutely. All right, Jesse, I know that you had a couple thoughts back there. You got a question?
No, I mean, I just was saying you look solid all year long. I remember back in Vegas, watching you shoot and everything. You looked really solid. So, and it's continuing, and you haven't been practicing very much. So, I mean, that's good. I mean, good shooting. Congratulations, and we'll see you at the next tournament whenever that'll be.
You bet.
So,
I appreciate it, guys.
yeah.
Thank you both.
All right. Congratulations, man. All right, everybody. That's
Yes, sir.
no.
Good
go
shooting.
ahead. You're good. All right, everybody, that's going to be a wrap from the 2020 NFAA Indoor Nationals. Once again, this event coverage is brought to you by Bomar Archery. Thanks, Jesse, for hanging out. I know you would have much rather been up there waiting, getting stalled out to shoot for the win, but I appreciate you hanging out and doing the commentary thing for us. We will be seeing you again here in just a couple weeks in Fresno, huh?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Bow Junkie Media this week. It has been a hell of a week, long week, long days. We did what we could for you. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see y'all in Fresno. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Yep.